Hello everyone, I'm Corey Tafoya and welcome to Learn Mundelein. This is a new creation where we are going to help all those in the District 75 community understand all the amazing things that are happening inside our school district. And this tool is meant to tell our story because there's so many things that you may never find out that are going on unless we're telling you the story. So we're going to be back periodically with things like this. The idea is if we do videos like this, they can go on YouTube, we can cut them into our Instagram, and we can have a lot of good things for you to stay connected. So truly getting behind the ropes here, you might not even know where we are. You may recognize this guy, but you may not know where we are. But this is Dave Zaremba, our Director of Buildings and Grounds. Dave, do you want to tell everyone where we are? Because people might be going, I can't figure it out. Where are they?
We are at Carl Sandburg. We are in the south courtyard where we plant all of our fruit trees.
Okay, so that's what we're going to get to in a little bit, because you may say, wait a minute, there's a fruit courtyard inside Sandburg. I never knew that. I've had kids go through there, and yes there is, and we're going to talk about that. But I also hope that what we do in this series, and their kind of video podcast, this form of communication, is really to tell the story. So one of the things, though, that when I first came to Mundelein, one of the first things I did that first week is I had you give me a tour a lot of our district spaces, because I wanted to know the ins and outs, what we were working on, and what I walked away with, not only the knowledge, but was a sense of the pride that you have and your teams have for the spaces we have for our kids. And so can you tell us a little bit about your job and where that pride comes from, and all the different things you do to maintain these facilities that we want to have look pristine every day when kids arrive?
Okay. As Corey said, I'm Dave Zaremba, the Director of Buildings and Grounds. I take pride in my job for the teachers, so they have a great teaching experience when they come to work every day. I was brought up in CPS schools where they weren't so nice, and I want to make sure that I give that pride back to my schools that I work for, so they have a great teaching environment for the students in the community of Mundelein.
So that comes in many forms, doesn't it? Dave has the kind of job, like many of you have, where when the phone rings, it's usually not praise and, hey Dave, I just want to tell you how awesome my classroom is. It's usually something's happening or something's going on that you've got to respond to. So tell us a little bit about how your day normally looks. Not only do you have the list of things that you want to do that day, but you probably have to expect the unexpected. A phone call say, Dave, we need you at Mechanics Grove right now.
Correct. I am sort on 24-hour call. I get calls at 2, 3 in the morning sometimes from alarm detection companies, or police department, electrical departments, also from the building security systems that I have to come in and oversee. So my day usually starts between 5 and 6 in the morning. I get here with my team in the morning. We go over our work orders that need to be done for the day, and we disperse off into what we do. I then go to my office and start doing paperwork and wait for those great phone calls to come in.
So when you get those calls, can you remember the first time when you took this job, any calls that you went, oh my gosh, my life is going to be like this for a while, I have to respond? Do you have any story to tell of when you respond to something that was unexpected?
The first day I started this position, we had a water main break, and it was underneath a 12-inch driveway that we had to remove the driveway to get to the water main break. And I worked with the village. I worked with the plumbing contractor that we work, and we decided we weren't going to tear up that driveway because of the extra cost. We decided to directional bore it underneath the ground and then bring it up, so there was only 2 openings we had to fill in and patch, then this whole driveway and all of the grass in the front of Carl Sandburg building.
And that was your first day?
That was my first day on the job, yeah.
Wow, and I think that's a good sneak peek into what your life is like. But as you think now, and you've been with us in the district how many years?
I've been here 15 years, but I've been a director for 7.
Okay, so in your 15 years, maybe talk about how you've seen things improve in terms of the facility and the way things look and your maintenance schedules and things that you brought to District 75 that you're proud of.
I have a residential construction and painting background. I believe decoration paint is cheap and easy. Paint makes things look beautiful as long as it's applied properly. And that was the first thing I wanted to do, was get our buildings painted. When I came here, they were dingy colors, they were older colors, they were dated colors. They were, just not remodeled in a while. And even though we couldn't replace lights and cabinets and things like that, we could do painting. So we decided to paint all the buildings first inside, then we worked to the outside, and then we started adding the school colors to each building. Like in this building, Carl Sandburg, we have the black and red stripes that run around all the hallways, because that pulls it together in a hallway.
Yeah.
And every building I have done that, whether it was with signs or stickers on the floor for students to direct them their way to where they needed to go, or if it was big projects like repainting a gym that needed to be done at Washington when I first took over.
So kids may not day to day notice all the things that you and your team do, but they notice when it's not happening, right? Is that kind of the way the work
Yes.
happens?
Yes. You'll get that first day, you'll get that first compliment, but then it like fades away.
Yeah.
But things that need to be done, yes, you hear about them more often and more frequently, and you hear about them more when you start doing it. Now it's, you're doing it for one school, how come you're not doing it for another?
You've raised the standard, so to speak, and now they want everyone.
Now everyone wants to be, yes.
Well, what are some of the projects that you remember that have happened that are real advancements in the district in terms of our facilities? And secondly, why does that matter? I mean, shouldn't we just maintain and keep a base layer, or why is having a little better than normal, like, why does that matter to kids, do you think?
Well, that comes twofold. One, you want up-to-date equipment. You want things that are going to work. You also want now into energy efficiency equipment.
Yeah.
We have changed out some boilers. We have 23 in the district. We have changed out 13 of them to high efficiency boilers, which brings our energy costs down, our gas costs down. We have also replaced a few air handlers, which brings our electrical costs down and gives us higher factors of air. So things are working better. A lot of the equipment when I started was 50 years old. We have been working through replacing that. Every year we try to replace a couple pieces of equipment. This year we focused more on gyms and things like that, getting them cleaned and prepped up for our community to come in. And every year we'll plan on working with architects, working with our health, life, safety, and our ROE. We get a list of priorities that need to be done, and we just start working through them. And
now, every smart superintendent finds an opportunity to thank his school board, right? And we should thank our school board, because they just voted last month to approve the building or kind of a facility study that'll help us understand what are the priorities we should look at for the next 10 years. And I think we're both excited about that, to get fresh eyes on all this. And what it'll help us do, I hope, is to prioritize, okay, the roof we know needs work, but it can wait 2 years. This project that we're going to do right now can't wait, and we can then fit with that in the budget. And so that's kind of what you think about in addition to solving the crisis all the time, right?
all the time. Building assessments. It's called building assessments. And we work with our architect, and they give us they go through and they go from the tip of the chimney to your basement mortar. And they check everything out, and they give us a time span or an age that it could be or should be before we start to replace it. And that's where we started with the last question, was with the boilers. They let us know our stuff's getting 25, 30 years old. Let's get some energy efficient stuff in here. So building assessments are very crucial in bigger buildings like this, just so we could stay on top of things and have other people put them in perspective. Sometimes there's the whole thing, you can't see the forest through the trees. You hear so much, you see so many things, but sometimes you don't. So it's always good to get a second set of eyes on it to give you some opinions.
Yeah, right. And there are some things, we can't be experts in all things. And so when you get these professionals to come in, they may have a deep expertise in something that's helpful to us. But Dave, you're not just here at Sandburg.
Correct.
You are responsible for also Lincoln,
Mechanics.
Washington, and Mechanics Grove.
Sure. So
is it like having 4 kids and they all need you all the time, or how do you manage?
They all play
paying
different
attention?
sports and they need me all the time.
Okay.
We also picked up the CEDAL building recently, and I take care of the admin building, which you can see we're doing construction in the front foyer there now.
Yeah.
But I every morning when I come in, that's the first thing I do, is I stop every building. Before I even get to my office, I walk every building, follow up with the cleaning crews, see if they have any issues from the night before, talk to the custodian, see if there's anything I need to put attention on, and also follow up with the projects they have been working on to make sure they're getting done daily to keep the schools clean properly for the students and staff.
Do you have one of those things that tells you how many miles you walk a day?
I do. I'm between 15 and 20,000 steps a day.
Ooh, wow, that's impressive.
Doctor says it's not enough.
Doc says not. No, oh, that's okay. Well, I'm really in trouble then.
I'm not getting the elevated heart rate, as he says.
Okay, I see. Well, that means you're in good shape. Your heart rate's strong.
Yeah.
But Dave, as I came up, I happened to notice a large construction project happening here on the southeast side of our campus, and they were on cranes putting things up. Is that an exciting part of your job, or is that a stressful part of your job, or how does that affect your daily work? Because you got to maintain everything, but you also have to oversee these construction projects like we got going on here.
We hired a great contractor. We work with some great architects. Working with them has just been phenomenal. They take a lot of the pressure off mine. I do my daily checks. I do my daily walkthrough with them multiple times. Mm-hmm. Architect I talk to daily, Chad, who is running the project. I work with him daily multiple times throughout the day. But there's always even things we have to change our day for that. We had a delivery this morning that was 2 hours early, right in the middle of our bus drop off. Yeah. We had to manipulate and make it happen. Yeah. And we did. We got the truck unloaded off the property so we can get the buses going through. It's just communication is the biggest thing with all of this.
Well, one of the things that we talk about in education now is that there's a lot of ways to choose a life and a career for yourself. And I think your career path has had a lot of terms. But what are some of the things that you have learned that will make our students that say, hey, I don't want to sit in an office. I don't want to do this. I want to be out there doing stuff, working with my hands. How would you advise an 18-year-old that says, I don't necessarily know if college is what I want to do. I want to be out working with people. I want to be making a difference in my community like you are. How would you talk to an 18-year-old Dave, that's in a high school class now, not really understanding what's next for him in his life about the potential to have a great career like you've had here in the district?
I would tell them, try everything once. I have done a lot of jobs in my life, growing up. I have done a lot of different things just to get a taste of what it is to see what I wanted to do. I went into painting because my family was in painting. My family owned a big painting company in Buchanan, Michigan. And from about 11 years old, my grandma would take me there on our yearly field trips, and Grandpa would make me sit on the bucket and watch until one day he put that brush in my hand. Okay. And no, I did not do good, and I knew that. I'm 11 years old, but he gave me that opportunity. Right. And then just through life, my father always bought and remodeled homes. So it was, you get bad grades, you go change some drywall. My father pushed that in a lot of the aspects of learning.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where, hopefully, as a school district, we are sharing with our students that it's about skills, not necessarily always a particular degree, or develop skills, because your life is going to take you so many different directions. If you've got a lot of skills, you're always going to be useful. Correct. I think that's good. Now, we talked in the very opening about where we are here, and as people walk by this, you showed me this when we first had that tour in July, and I was blown away. I'm like, I'm going to remember that. We got to talk about that. But there is an honest-to-goodness fruit orchard right here in our South Atrium, isn't there?
Correct. And growing yearly.
Is okay.
Yes.
Well, tell us about how this has grown and what your part of it is, and maybe some other members of staff that have helped grow this tradition, and how our kids may even benefit from this potentially.
Okay, I'll start out by saying this all started way before me. I've only been here 15 years. These two trees you see right to the right of myself and Corey have been here for 25 years. When they closed down Quigg's Apple Orchard in Wakanda, Nate Sather, who was one of our science teachers, got them to donate 2 of the trees. So they dug them up and they brought them here and they put them in place, which is what started all of this. Through the years, Nate will take his students out on Arbor Day and add a tree. My team, we have a tree that passes on and goes past its life. We take that out, we add another fruit tree in its place.
So he brings the students out here. He's a science teacher, so he can kind of look at it from a scientific level. Now we're sitting in front of a fruit bowl. This people may think this is a prop, but these are actually fruits from our trees.
From our trees, yes. We have apple trees in here. We have or pear trees in here, but we also have peach trees. We're late in the season, but we have peach trees, nectarine trees, cherry trees, grapevines that we just put in a couple years ago. Multiple different varieties of pears and multiple different varieties of apples.
It's really incredible. When you look at these, it's an amazing thing. This just is happening right here, and then amongst all the education going on. we should be very clear. We don't give these to kids because we're on a federal food program, and that's not something that we do. But there are, I'm sure, a lot of opportunities for staff and things like this. But we don't give these to kids. This is not where school lunch comes from, everyone.
Right.
You have to be clear about that.
Yes.
But if you look at these things, I mean, that's a great looking pear. Isn't that thing fantastic? So maybe, Dave, just if anyone is wanting to know a little bit more about this, is it all right if they just reach out to you, or if they
Please
want to help, or they have an idea or have ideas for our students, is it all right for them to reach out to you or reach out to me?
Please, I would look forward to it. I would also look forward to walking people through if they would like to see.
Yeah. So
We do not use any type of fertilizers either. You see, we have some dimples and stuff. We don't put no types of fertilizers on things, so they could be eaten right from the tree.
Yeah.
There's too many chemicals put in foods nowadays. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
We have also started one of these orchards at every school.
Oh, really?
They're smaller at the other schools
Yeah.
because they're not enclosed like this.
Sure.
But MG itself has 7 trees. Washington has 2 or 3 trees, and Lincoln has 1.
Wow.
And every year we add to that.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's something exciting. Though it is 25 years from now, when the next person in our roles, if we're gone at that time, which I imagine in 25 years would be, they'll be seeing the fruits of our work, right?
Of our labor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Well, that's maybe a good and cliche and cheesy way to end it, but I really, Dave, this is a great story, and I think on behalf of all the staff of 75 that benefit from you and your team for coming to a classroom every day and saying, gosh, this looks good, and it's good for morale, it's good for the climate of the school. So thank you, Dave, for all the work you do and all the pride you put in our schools. It's important that it demonstrates what we're trying to do here is be for first class in every way. So I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for putting trust and faith in my team.
Betcha. Thanks, everyone. This is our very first Learn Mundelein episode, and we hope you enjoyed it, and come back in maybe a couple weeks for another version, and we hope you learned something. Thanks.
Thank you.